Hey, this guy's Chad, and you're watching Grapple-Sauce Wrestling. What's better than a good feud in wrestling? I'll give you a sec. A blood feud. A feud so hot that it becomes legendary. Maybe they have some real-life heat, or just such good chemistry that the feud becomes something more. While researching into these feuds, I couldn't narrow it down to just 5, so this bad boy just became a 2-parter. Without further ado, here's my first 5 blood feuds. Take 10, Mitsuharu Misawa and Toshiaki Kawada. This feud had the simplest of premises, no crazy gimmicks or wild characters needed. This is one of pro wrestling's most storied rivalries. This feud was built on real-life friends turned the bitterest of rivals. Their rivalry was fueled by jealousy and the willingness to sacrifice everything for the sport. On the 6th of March, 1994, they would have one of the greatest matches of all times, earning 6 stars from David Meltzer. Their story spans years of intense rivalry featuring many matches over the years, culminating at All Japan's Champion Carnival on April 11, 1994. The match features 2 of wrestling's 4 pillars having a truly impressive blow-up, a violent technical masterpiece, finishing in a 30-minute draw. In 2010, Kawada would retire shortly after Misawa died in the ring, the tragic death of his friend and rival sapping his love for the sport. This is a very interesting rabbit hole worth falling down, as we can't do it justice in this format. Take 9. Bruiser Brody vs. Abdullah the Butcher. Some rivalries burn hot and fast. This one spanned years, where they spilled each other's blood all over the world. Both men were megastars for different promotions in Japan, and they would only face off once in Japan as neither were being paid to lose. The two would have epic battles in Texas for Fritz von Erich's World-Class Championship Wrestling. When Abdullah began to terrorize the territory, Brody was the one man that could put an end to the Butcher's path of destruction. The two men would have some truly hardcore bouts in Puerto Rico where the action was fierce, intense, wild, and thrilling. Their final clash would happen on July 13, 1988. Leading to the bout, the Butcher was beating some jobber senseless while Brody rushed in to make the save. This led to a violent match where Brody would be disqualified for wrapping a camera cable around the Butcher's neck and choking him out for the next 2 minutes, losing the match but becoming a moral victor. Bruiser Brody and Abdullah the Butcher weren't known for flashy technical matches but always brought the fight. Take 8. Matt Hardy and Edge. 2005 saw one of the most personal and uncomfortable feuds ever. The Edge, Lita, and Matt Hardy love triangle had firings, shoot interviews, work shoot interviews, a blood feud, and it almost ruined the legacy of one of the most trailblazing female stars ever. After Lita joined Team Extreme, her and Matt began dating. Not long after Matt and Jeff split to pursue singles glory, Lita began having an affair with Edge. After Matt found out about this, he let the world know via the internet, and this led to his firing from the WWE. On July 11, 2005, Matt Hardy would attack Edge backstage, making his shocking return. In a strange blend of kayfabe and real life, the two would have matches at SummerSlam 2005 and an episode of Raw, leading to Unforgiven 2005 with a brutally fantastic cage match. At Raw Homecoming, they would battle to a no contest in a loser leaves Raw ladder match. Matt Hardy would never really get his revenge. Take 7. Ric Flair and the Stinger. This rivalry is one of the longest running feuds in pro wrestling history, with matches spanning from 1988 all the way to their final clash in TNA in 2011. This rivalry started with a contest for the NWA World Championship in 1988 that would end in a time limit draw and would escalate to one of the greatest rivalries through the years. The pair would meet a few times over the next 2 years until their match at the Great American Bash in 1990, where Sting would finally win the NWA Championship off of Flair. In '95, Flair would get Sting to help in his feud against the Horsemen, just to betray Sting, leading to a great grudge match at WCW World War III. Over the years, these two would clash repeatedly over multiple promotions in a rivalry that would last over 23 years. The two had many notable feuds and matches, and Flair would become known for his multiple betrayals of Sting. Most notably, they had matches on the first and final episodes of WCW Nitro. Take 6. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. This feud would in some ways help define wrestling in the 1990s for the WWF. Starting off as friends and competitors in the tag team division, occasionally squaring off as the Hart Foundation versus the Rockers, the two would eventually square off as singles competitors in 1996 in a legendary Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12. The match would go the distance without a pinfall and go into sudden death, where Michaels would score a pinfall and win his first WWF World Championship over Hart. Not long after the match is when things would sour between the two. In 1997, things would escalate quickly with various unsavory rumors and shots fired between the two. Things would escalate during work-shoot promos and altercations both in and out of the ring, quickly turning this rivalry into real animosity between these two. This animosity would build into a blood feud between the two until that fateful night at Survivor Series 1997 known as the Montreal Screwjob. The two would hold a grudge and only bury the hatchet on an episode of Raw on January 4th, 2010. And part 1 of my top blood feuds is in the books. What did you think? Who's missing? Who will be in the top 5? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, remember to hit the old like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications to be informed of when part 2 drops. Thanks for watching, and peace!